Hello, hello. Happy Friday, everybody. You're joining the Aquarium Adventures live stream where hopefully you can both see and hear me. But we'll give it a second while I check out where the chat has disappeared to and confirm to myself whether I am actually live. Give us a second. There we go. Found it. So, first, as always, Rocky's Rocky. Good to see you. Mickey's in. Foxtail Gravy. There's a name and a half. Craig Galbraith. Noodle Sandwich. Phil's in. Oh, damn it. Do you know what I've done? I've started the stream without a beer. Oh, this is going to go horribly wrong. But Phil, you've also reminded me that I got a parcel from you today, which I wanted to share with everyone. So we might have a little break, a little interlude while I go and fetch the things that I meant to bring upstairs. But we'll carry on regardless. Who else have we got? Freshwater Ichthyology. That's a name and a half. I'm always pleased with myself when I say that. Craig, we've already mentioned. Noodles. Who else have we got? Let's have a quick look through. Don Ransom, Mark Brennan, Jake Damien, Scott Sin, Alex, Rob, Chow with Lau, nice and early. Jab's here. Jab, we haven't even announced the giveaway yet and you're already in. Fredox, Paul Horrocks, Kaylee's here. Vince Ransom, Chris Cairns, Sharpie's in. Sharpie's Fishing Phantoms. And it's going to take me a while to get used to that new name. Loud and clear, boss man. That's what we want to see. Yes. Right. So, happy Friday, first and foremost. I hope you've got a beverage and a snack. At least if you haven't, you can go away and get one and nobody will notice. Whereas I might. But anyway, we've got the slideshow starting early today. So this is anyone that buys anything off the website or they have some of my merch or something like that. Send me a picture onto the Discord server. In fact, we can probably do both things at once. That would be clever, wouldn't it? Can we move the disc? No, we don't want to do that. What do we want to do? Okay, there we go. No, how's that? I realise I'm talking to myself. There you go. So, Discord server up there if you want to join up. Someone will put a link down below, no doubt, as well, where you can do that. And send me a picture of you and your gear. So all these fabulous things like the old cock merch. Available in hoodies, t-shirts, polo shirts, all those good things. You can get hats, towels, anything you might want with all different designs. Be quick if you want to be in time for Christmas. No guarantees, but we'll try our best. But send me a picture, even if you're just buying some food or you win some stickers. Let me see where you put your stickers. I always like to see that kind of thing. And then you might see yourself up here although you've all disappeared now. Why has that happened? There you go. We're coming back. So there's one of our latest pictures. A bit squint, but there you go. Anyway, where was I going with that? I was reading the chat. That's what I was doing. I was saying hello to everyone. Loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear. That's what we want. Evening destroyers of duckweed and punishers of planaria. Someone's had a drink. Noodle's got a gin and tonic. NJW, hi from Doncaster, hi from Sheffield. Chris has got mulled wine. Ouzo for Kaylee. I'm so disappointed that I forgot my beer. I might have to go for an early break. Whiskey and Coke for Jake. Yes, there you go. Discord links in the chat if you want to join the Discord. But even if you don't want to send me a picture of you and your stuff, you can just hang out there and find out all the latest and greatest happenings. You'll get notifications, I think, if I post a video. But you can ask questions, share pictures, and we're going to be using it for the live streams going forward more and more. So I've talked about it before, where we're going to try and get some kind of format. I know I've not been very strict with this. Try and have some kind of format where we have news. News will be things that I've been doing last week, things that you've been doing last week, and you can tell me all about them. Then we're going to have a look at some of the subscriber tanks. So if you submit some pictures of your tank onto the Discord channel, we can have a look at them, rate or roast my tank. And then we'll have maybe some topics of the week, and then scattered throughout some Ask Me Anything questions. And if we don't scatter them throughout and I miss them, we'll stick it on the end and you can ask me then. I'm conscious I keep looking in there because I've just shaved my head, and usually it takes a few goes before I catch all the hairs, but it almost seems uniform. Also noticed a big massive bump because I cracked my head open earlier. It's because my news is I am the king of DIY, not that one. I've built a wall in my garage. I've started the Fish Room 2.0 build. I finally got there. I'm so excited, or I started being so excited because I started this about a week ago. I'm not very good at this kind of thing. I'm not very good at DIY. So building a wall, I thought, I'll just knock up a quick wall. It'll take me a couple of hours and we'll be done and dusted. I don't know why I thought that, because I don't know how to knock up a quick wall, and it didn't take a couple of hours, but it's finally done. I've got all the prep done all the way up to just plastering, so that's tomorrow's job. But I've been building the stud walls, putting up the insulation, putting up the plasterboard, filling and taping the plasterboard, which doesn't sound like a lot now that I say it like that, but it's taken me all week basically, and I've had a day off in the middle of that. So I reckon I've done maybe 2 full days of effort cracking at this. But I suppose if I was a professional, it might have taken a few hours. But when you don't really know what you're doing, it does tend to take a little bit longer. But I'm also covered in little bits of fiberglass from the insulation. I think I've got a bit of a skelf here, which I shall try and get out later. But it's really quite annoying. What do you call skelfs in England? Is it a splinter? Anyway, we digress. No, don't start calling me Joey yet, although I probably have the same DIY skills. But basically what I've done is I've built a kind of a 13-foot square-ish shape in the middle of my garage. Well, not in the middle, but kind of off to the side of my garage, which is going to be my fish room. And spoiler alert, early results are encouraging. So one of the things I was worried about was heat retention in the garage, because that's any fish room you're worried about heat. In winter, does it get too cold? In summer, is it going to get too hot? But just by putting up the first wall, the outside temperature dropped way below 0 this week. So the outside temperature was something like -1, and the inside temperature was 10, and that's when I only had the first part of the wall up. So it's doing exactly what I wanted it to do, and I couldn't be happier about that. I've been doing some experimenting with the temperatures throughout the week, and it really is there. So I had planned to build a wall all the way around the fish room, but I think what I'm going to do is I've built a kind of L-shaped wall, and I've stopped where I was going to put the door in, because in a unprecedented move I had to think about this and thought, if I put a door in and I try and get some massive if I put a door in and I try and get some massive fish tanks in here, I'll be limited by the width of the door. So I've just left it as a gap, and I'm going to hang like a big thick thermal curtain over the space where I've left a gap, and then put some of the racking to actually build the wall. Now maybe I'll apply it off the back of the racking just to try and seal it in a little bit. But that should give me a little bit more space to be able to swing in some bigger tanks. I'm really just replaying everything I'm saying in this video that I've recorded and edited tonight. So it'll probably go out tomorrow, or maybe I'll stick it out at the end of this live stream, because I think it's ready to go. So let me know if you want to hang on at the end of the live stream and watch the video that I've made. I don't think I've ever released a video this late at night, but hey, you never know, it might work. For the 38 people here, at least I'll get 30 views or so if you all hang around, if you can make it that long. So that's been my week this week. What have you all been up to? I've kind of really enjoyed it, because as much as it's... I nearly broke my back lifting the big massive sheets of gyprock, because they're so heavy and I'm so weak. But just kind of manoeuvring them around, and it's quite a tight space. So you're like, trying to get them out without completely destroying all the corners and edges. But I enjoy making that and getting it solid. And obviously I'm a YouTube expert, so I just watched how to build a wall on YouTube, and then how to plaster a wall, and how to joint a wall, how to do this on a wall, blah 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 blah. So I've done it all on my own without any knowledge. But I kind of love it, being a bit of a proper job. Manual labour, all that kind of stuff. And normally I sit behind a desk and go, makes keyboard tapping sounds, or I draw pictures of clouds with lines coming out of it and doing that kind of thing. But yeah, I absolutely love it. And for the first time ever, I measured things, and then when they were built, they were the size that I measured them. I made one little mistake where I was aiming for a 12-foot minimum. So I thought, I'll give myself 13 foot for this wall, because I've got two 6-foot racks. So I measured the gap, and I gave myself a perfect 12 foot 2 inches, I think I got, by the time I'd factored in the plasterboard and all that kind of stuff. But I haven't factored in... Sorry, my dog's over there just whining. I hadn't actually factored in the plaster. So there'll be a couple of mils of plaster there, and I'm worried that might just send me over the edge, but I think we'll be okay. And the actual 6-foot racks are like 6 foot and a tiny bit, so they might cause me some problems as well. But what I'm actually thinking of doing is building the mega tank in the space where I've got this 12-foot space. So I've basically got a bit that's boxed off that's 12 foot by, I think, just over 4 foot. I like those dimensions. I might be able to finally keep a betta fish without anyone complaining that the tank's too small. Or, heaven forbid, even a Mabu puffer. So let's see what some of you have been saying while I start. Joy Deacon, yeah, maybe. Andre Scott, hi, glad you started your YouTube video up a gin. I thought you quit doing them. I was just getting in your blue ram. I like to get some of your stuff. How do I do that? How do you do getting some of my stuff? Well, you go to the Aquarium Adventures website, aquariumadventures.co.uk, and you can get some of my stuff. You thought I quit doing videos? See, this is the thing. This is why my views have dropped off a cliff. I think I upset someone at YouTube and they stopped telling people when I released videos. It's the same for most channels. Every now and again, it happens to me. People who I'm subscribed to, I'll go, oh, hang on, I've not heard from them for a while, and I'll look at them and I'll go, oh, I'm not actually subscribed to them. I think every now and again YouTube just unsubscribes you, and then people I don't remember subscribing to, I'm still subscribed to, but there you go. So, you know, spread the word, check back often. I'm here every week, as they say. Kieran says, I hate DIY, but I also hate paying others to do it for me, so it's a lose-lose. Well, that's my thinking. I kind of enjoy doing it as well, even though I'm not particularly skilled in it, but that would have cost an absolute fortune. The only things I don't like doing myself, or that's not true, electrics. I have a love-hate relationship. I love electrics. Electricity hates me. So there are some things you just shouldn't do with electrics, but most people do. I used to be one of those people that would be, I could figure that out. But I electrocuted myself one too many times, and I lost power one too many times, where I think, right, electrics, I'm drawing the line. I managed to black out a street by trying to change a light switch. That's not normal, but I've just drawn the line saying anything with electrics, get in a proper professional. So all these lights, all the sockets that I've put into the fish room, I've had a proper electrician. If you're in Sheffield, I promised I'd give him a shout out. Just need to remember his name now. It's going to just say Brian Electrician in my phone, isn't it? I spoke to him the other day. BK Spark Electrical Services. You can search them up on Tinterwebs if you're in the Sheffield area. Did a cracking job. Very happy with it. So electrics I draw the line at. Anything plumbing up to gas. So I won't touch gas, but anything that's plumbing wise I don't mind having a go at. But I prefer to have a professional, just because when I flood the house I have to pay for it, whereas if a professional floods the house they have to pay for it. So obviously plumbing for fishy stuff, I'll happily do all that. But plumbing for toilets, I really don't want pooey water when it all goes inevitably wrong. Yeah, and you can save a lot of money by doing it like that. I remember getting a quote for plastering a room that was probably half the size of the fish room that I'm building now, and thinking, oh my god, how can it cost so much? It's basically spreading. And if you are a plasterer, I take that back. I know there's more to it than that, but in a garage, in a fish room, I think that's the perfect opportunity to have a go at plastering. So I did it in my old fish room, where I built a stud wall, a very, very small stud wall, and I had to go at plastering that, and it was terrible, and it didn't matter because nobody ever saw it. So I'm fine with having a go for that kind of thing. GB's jumped in. Phil's having a cider. You're all making me thirsty. As Mickey says, don't forget to click the like button. We've got 43 people in here at the moment and only 23 likes. Come on, what's that all about? Doesn't cost you anything. Feel free to not like and throw in some super chats and things like that, but just give us a couple of likes. That's all we ask for. You get this fantastic entertainment of me telling you how terrible I am at DIY. It's amazing how often things are an inch wider than a door, like the designers don't think about it. Exactly, so I thought, let's just not have a door. It's the kind of foresight that's totally alien to me usually. Usually it's after I've finished doing something I go, how am I going to... oh no, let's undo that. So I'm quite proud of myself really there. What else are we talking about here? What's been going on out there? Fredoc says, I've been forgetting I need to do water changes whenever I have free time. Memory like a sieve this week. Foxtail Gravy, I use my Alexa to remind me. I just assume I'm always meant to be doing water changes. So I've got enough tanks that when eventually I should say, I'll have the fish room set up on an automatic water change system, but at the moment it isn't. So I'm just... every day I'm changing water somewhere. So whether it's the inside tank, that's still working. So this tank you can see behind you, that's my only indoor tank at the moment that's running. But I've got a whole bunch of running tanks down in the fish room. So I just like to change water once a week. Well, because everything's kind of new here, so I'm doing weekly water changes. What I'll do is, Monday I'll do that tank, Tuesday I'll do the discus tank, Wednesday I'll do the angels, Thursday I'll do the Humphrey, and then I always know I have to do something, and then I can't forget about it, because if your memory's like a sieve, mine's like a broken sieve. Or is a broken sieve something that doesn't let water through? Mine's like a sieve with a hole in it. I don't know if that makes any sense. This week I've mostly been counting Bristol noses. I think we've got to get you in touch with the people at Guinness Book of Records, Sharpie. Swearing and buying sacks of algae wafers. I saw a post the other day. Someone had a silver arrow. First comment with, that arrow's gonna grow large. The response was something like, I hope he doesn't outgrow the 2,500 litre tank. Yeah, I kind of want to be that guy. Just so as I want to buy a bamboo puffer just so as I can wait for everyone to go, you do know it's going to get to 53 feet long. I'll go, oh, wonderful, it'll fit in this. And show them my massive tank. I'm sure by the time that I get around to building it, I'll be 6 inches short of whatever the latest recommendation is. But I have some ideas about what to keep in a monster tank, but I don't know. I've got lots of ideas. I think the problem is I've got too many ideas. So the kind of standard fare is, oh, you get a big tank, get a bunch of stingrays, get some arowana, or buy some monster fish, get some red-tailed cat, get giant gourami, all that kind of stuff, or get some bass, or things along that line. And I'm not sure that's the route that I want to go down. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love a lot of those fish. It would be awesome to keep some of them, but I've talked about this before. That might be the kind of tank where I can get like a whole poop ton of Oscars, for instance. I've always wanted to keep Oscars. I've never kept Oscars, but I have this idea where it might be, you know, like when you get a fairly large tank. So I remember I bought 100 rum and nose tetras, or 100 cardinal tetras for my 5-foot tank, and it was like, oh great, look at them all schooling and shoaling, or whatever, whichever one it is. I always get them backwards. Imagine that was Oscars. Now, we wouldn't get 100 Oscars, but you never see more than 3. Sometimes you get 5 or 6. But I did see, somebody showed me a video years and years and years ago now, and I can't remember where it was because I've looked for it loads of times, but it was like 20 Oscars in a big old tank like that, and it just looked awesome. So that's one idea. I do like the idea of getting some stingrays and some arrows and some things like that. I really quite like the idea of, even if it's not Oscars, just getting a whole, like a South American cichlid community. So a load of big fish that you normally couldn't keep together just because of the not having the size to keep them there. But if I created enough areas that they could all keep themselves happy, you could get that kind of thing. Maybe just having 15 bazillion discus. That might be a thing that I do. So yeah, I've got lots of kind of ideas which are all competing, and I really don't want to be the guy that's just constantly going, right, I'm going to buy this fish or this set of fish, and then 6 months later, right, they're out the door, I'm going to bring in this set of fish to live in my monster tank, right, they're out the door. I like to, once I've got a tank, unless it's like a breeding tank or something like that, I like to keep a tank going for as long as it works, basically. Chris says, I love DIY, but my kids all know to avoid me when I'm doing it. Yeah, I nearly speared one of my kids once when I was trying to change a light socket, and I forgot. I turned off the lighting circuit, just not the upstairs lighting socket. So I'm there screwing away and went, and threw a screwdriver across the room that went, ding. So I was almost a murderer. What? That's all this is moving. It's moving. I did get bitties from a goldfish group again. Apparently mutant crucian carp is offensive. Well, number one daughter, well, only daughter, she's come to me today and said that with goldfish facts. Dad, do you know that one single goldfish needs 20 gallons to be happy? I'm like, well, what's she been watching? So she decided she wants a goldfish. I want one of the ones with the big massive faces. I'm assuming she means an oranda or something like that. So I might have to get into the world of goldfish again. Go get yourself a drink. Talking for 2 hours will dry your mouth out. I'm already getting cotton mouth down sides, yeah. Freshwater ichthyology, all of my water changes are on the same day, so I don't forget. It's a brilliant system, isn't it? So it's much like my system of all my water changes are every day, so I don't forget. One of the things the old, where is it? You'll see it whoosh whooshing back there. The old Felix there is quite good at is reminders and schedules and things like that. So while technically you can, you could get it to set up your own automatic water changes, i.e. turn on pumps from some kind of reservoir and turn on siphons and that kind of thing. It will just send you alerts and stuff, but obviously there are many more cheaper versions of doing that exact same thing that don't rely on you spaffing nearly £1,000 up the wall. Mickey's going to the fish shop to get some nice food and probably fish and food and rocks, yeah, and a remortgage. Craig says get snake heads. That is one of the things I'm considering. I do like snake heads. The only thing I'm worried about snake heads is I don't really know. Well, I was going to say why should that be about it. I was about to say I don't really know enough about them and what types I want to keep, but I am on YouTube. Surely that's the point, that I just get things that I don't know anything about and we see how we get on. But I have plans of what my mega tank's going to look like. I haven't got plans of what the lid's going to look like yet. And I know snakeheads are quite good escape artists, so I don't know. We'll need to have a think about that. I would love a boo puffer, but I don't have the space to look after it correctly. Well, I'm hoping that I would have the space to look after it correctly. Surely 12 foot by 4 foot, that should do the job. I mean, so my go-to person on Facebook will know to tell me, oh no, you need 13 feet by 5 feet. But I think that would be big enough. I have seen people keep them in like 6 foot tanks, 7 foot tanks, and still get, no, far too small. It needs to be 10 feet. To a large scale of discus, stay true to yourself. Definitely. How cool would that look? I might need to breed discus for a year first to be able to afford it, because I don't think I could afford to fill a tank that size full of premium discus. So I might need to get my own little breeding program going. 100 plus discus would be fun. It would be fun, yeah. Buying 100 plus discus would not be fun. I would definitely need to start some kind of GoFundMe or something like that. But I could buy a few pairs and have that as my breeding project in the fish room, because that's what I'm thinking of, is having this mega tank that's just going to be something that's cool, for want of a better term. Something that lets me make some YouTubery type videos with thumbnails like all that kind of stuff. Sorry, I'm really doing myself a disservice here. Doesn't need to be that bad, does it? So that would be one side of things, where I could just have the cool stuff and the YouTubeable stuff. But then the other side, I'd have my little breeding projects and my little interesting tanks and my other aquascaping tanks and some project tanks and all that kind of stuff. So that might work. It might take a while to get there. I clean the filters anytime I water change, so they get done once or twice a week. I've left the canister a couple of weeks though, so I can do a video on how to do it. Yeah, I remember doing that years ago. I thought, so it definitely wasn't every year, but I had an FX5 that I used to clean religiously every 2 weeks or something like that when I was obsessive about it. I tend to get quite obsessive about things. And I thought, I know, I'm going to leave that for a while so as I can do a how to clean your filter video, or I haven't cleaned this filter for 6 months, how dirty will it be? And I remember opening it up and it wasn't any dirtier than it was after leaving it for 2 weeks. And I think I left it like about 3 or 4 months. I was so disappointed. I was like, sorry, I missed what train I thought I was on there. Always great going to a DIY job and the bloke's made a mess of it and blames the imaginary builder he's had in. That must happen a lot. Yeah, the last guy who's a proper cowboy. Did you try out the new water testing kit? Yes, I did. I have been trying out the new water testing kit. I don't want to spoil the video, so I won't. Mark F, thanks for the giveaway. It arrives today. Good. Hopefully most of them have arrived by now. I've been trying all week to get back up to speed because I had a few things that were backing up. So we should now be back up to speed. Well, that's the idea anyway. But what I'm going to do now is we're going to try and have a little break because I have some things I want to show you and I want a drink for myself. So talk amongst yourselves for maybe a minute max and I'll be straight back. Hopefully the screen won't go blank, but something should happen. Let's see. This will be a bit of a test. There we go. The sound was on and I turned it off. What an idiot. My fault. So, perfect time for a cider run, Mickey says. It is. This week I'm enjoying large bottles of Heineken. And I feel like I deserve it after I've done some proper man stuff. Manual labour. Man build wall. Not quite done the plastering yet. Is there still no sound? There should be sound now. Maybe I should sing a song. Everyone go, no, stop now. I can never quite tell because the chat's a little bit far behind. So anyway, I will crack on as if you can hear me because I think you can now. All I wanted to say was I was really thirsty, so I went for a wee drink. But I've got something to show you, and more importantly, something to give you. So, good now, thank you. So I want to make sure you could hear me before I showed you this thing. So, something came in the post today from your friend and mine, Phil at Elite Logos for you. Any of your embroidery, printing, sticker needs, go and check out Elite Logos. Because we've got this today. the Aquarium Adventures. It even says Aquarium Adventures, not Aquarium. 2022. Now, this came in quite a big box, and my house has gates at the front of it. And the box just appeared in the middle of the driveway. I'll need to get a camera on that driveway. So, a couple of them got all bashed. But, look at this. So, some nice fishy pictures. A bit of a fishy calendar. With some of my favourite pictures. It's got all the... Well, that one doesn't, because there aren't any in February. It's got all the bank holidays and everything on it. All my contact details, so you can bug me for things, you know. But yeah, just some of my favourite pictures. And it's just a cool calendar. Why wouldn't you want one of them? So I won't spoil it by going through all of them, but... How did I do that? No, that's the wrong page, Graham. That's the back page. There we go. So, I thought we'd give a couple of these away. What do we think? Would you like one? That's going to be the question of the day. Would you like one? So, we've got 47, 48 people on the stream at the moment. I think what we'll do is a bit of a giveaway. And we'll give away a few of these bad boys. Bad boys. Who do I think I am? So, to that end, I quite enjoyed our different giveaway we did last time. So, I'm going to make sure everyone's... Let's put on little face. Make sure everyone can see. So, mod regulars. Everyone's active. I'm going to do a random number. So, the rules are, in a minute, in fact, I don't know if this works like this. Yeah, it does. In a minute, when I figure out how to do this, I should really think about these things in advance and do them first. I'm going to ask you to pick a number. You're allowed... You pick a number between 1 and 50. If I see you going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you're banned. So you're allowed multiple guesses. You're just not allowed to like be faster at typing than everyone else. So let's say once every 20 seconds or something like that, I will allow. Anyone's allowed to play. Kaylee, you're allowed to play. Jab, you're allowed to play. Anyone can have a go. We're going to give away a calendar, so I'm going to come off this because you'll see the number. But basically, big face. Pick a number between 1 and 50. I think I've done it. Yes, I have done it. Right. So, type in your guesses. Give it like 10, 20 seconds in between guesses. Just type in a number between 1 and 50. And if you pick the winning number, you win, basically. It's as simple as that. I like the simplicity of this. I also like the fact that everyone always seems to start with the same numbers. So we've had a pair of 22s, we've had a pair of 13s, we've had a pair of 17s. No one's got the winner yet. And I will enjoy a little drink while I wait. Still no one's got the winner. And crucially, no one seems to be cheating either. Maybe that's too many numbers. I'm making it too hard. Would you like a clue? Oh, we've got a winner. We've got a winner. The number was 16. NJW has won. Right, you can stop now. Somebody's won. So, NJW, you are the winner. Congratulations. Right, stop typing numbers now. The winning number was 16, so just to prove it, little face. There you go, NJW won. He didn't spam too badly, so we'll let you away with that. And we'll give a couple more away as the night progresses. Everyone happy with that? Pardon me. So as always, if you want to email me, please, NJW, graham@aquariumadventures.co.uk. Let me know where you live, and I'll send it to you. So, this could be yours. I don't know. If you want to buy them, I guess we could arrange to stick them on the website if there's any interest in buying them. But I'll give away a few on live streams and things like that, so there'll be chances to win. But if you're really desperate for one, let me know. I hope, NJ, you don't live in Australia. Let me know whether I'm going to financially recover from this. I should have stipulated you have to live in the UK or be willing to pay the postage. But I'll let you off if you don't. But for the next one, you do. And as Jennifer says, email graham@aquariumadventures.co.uk. You have to be a subscriber as well. That also helps. I forgot what I was doing now. Oh yeah, calendars. So I really like this because it's quite glossy. So thank you, Phil. Again, Phil at Elite Logos. He sorted this out. I really quite like my pictures as well. All these pictures are of my fish, taken by me. Oh, NJW from Doncaster, of course. Why wasn't I thinking? I think I'm going to Doncaster tomorrow. No. Yeah, email me, let me know your address. I'll pop it in the post. Unless I'm just knocked over my camera. Unless I'm going to Doncaster, I might just pop it through your door. The mods all need one. I think we can do one for the mods. For all your sterling work. That should be fine, yeah. So, therein lies the news. So that was the news. I've been playing at being a builder. And I got some calendars. So this is the section where we'll jump into, I was going to say we'll jump into TikTok, but that's not what we're going to do at all. Oh, my TikTok video. What a palaver that was. It basically got demonetized because of all the copyrighted material. I've never had so many copyright strikes in my life, never mind in one video. I think I've got something like 18 copyright strikes. Which made me laugh because there weren't 18 different songs used. I don't think I did 18 clips. But some of them had like 3 or 4 different companies claim the same thing. And I was like, oh, interesting. I have to let them fight that one out. But tonight is the section... Now is the section where I'm going to jump into Discord. And have a look at the rate/roast my tanks submissions or aquarium pictures submissions, so we can have a look at some of your guys' tanks. Whoosh. Some of you folks' tanks. Sorry, someone sent me a message on, or not a message, what's the word? A mention. I just watched your video on shipping from a year ago. Have you made any on shipping that are more recent with heat packs? I thought the one from a year ago did have heat packs. But anyway, I shall look at that later. So we've only had one submission. That's why I'm trying to encourage everyone to go on the Discord. Small face, come on. Maple Street Aquatics. Howdy, Graham and friends. Howdy. How are you this evening? I might finish 10 minutes early tonight just so as I can launch my latest video. Pardon me. So we've had one submission for the rate/roast my tanks, which is from Paul, who says, well, let's read it first. Ugh, it's not what I wanted to do. Who says, this is my 200 litre Roma, which I've had for years and I was going to sell it when I upgraded. No one ever does that. That's just something you tell your partner. I was going to sell it when I upgraded, but ended up keeping it and use it as a community, easy for me to say, a community tank with electric blue Acara, various tetras and a couple of plecos. Was debating using it for a breeding project. Oh, Jabs stuck his tank in quick. Look at that. Why would you get rid? See, these are a fish electric blue Acara, or even plain old manual Acaras. I've never kept them, but I've always been interested in them. They're kind of that in-betweeny size between dwarf cichlids and like big old monster cichlid type size. I think Sharpie, you keep these as well, don't you? They seem to be, I don't know, just really interesting. I've just never, they're another one that's going on the list of tanks of fish that I want to keep. So we've got the, what was it, the Roma. Yeah, it looks like a Roma. Some good healthy growth going on there. So this is one of the things is I'm never going to critique you for algae or anything like that, because I think it's not necessarily a bad thing if you've got a little bit of algae. But you've got some nice bushy thick valves in there. So in terms of critique, what have I got? I've got nothing. That's a lovely tank. Kinda, I don't know whether you've put stuff up the side to block out light or something like that, or block out maybe some busy areas of the house or whatever, but it's doing a good job of hiding some of, so your filter outlet over here. This, you've got some Java firm there and some valves. They're doing a good job of hiding that. So not something you would normally see. Like, I think that's an Amazon sword there, is it? You don't normally see them at the front of the tank, but if that's meant to be creating a sidewall, then it's fine. It's serving a purpose, if you like. But yeah, it's just a lovely little tank. It's a little tank. It's 200 litres. It's not a little tank. Obviously, you should be keeping discus in it, but you know, we'll let you go on that one. But why not? Why not have a little community? What did you say about it again? Keeping it, using it as a community tank with the Acaras, tetras, and a couple of plecos. Debating using it for a breeding project. Of what? That would be my guess, because it's not too big. Nothing's too big to make it a breeding tank. But you could probably have several breeding projects going on there. If you had a couple of plecos in there, they could be breeding while you have something that's obviously live bearers are going to be breeding no matter what tank they're in. You could have a couple of discus pairs in there and section it off and have that kind of breeding project going on there. So in a tank that size, you can probably have multiple breeding projects without necessarily destroying it as a community tank or as a beautiful tank. So when I say breeding projects, I think bear tank with the minimum that's in there that is required to make the fish get up to breeding condition. So if it was discus, it'd be a bear tank and a breeding cone or a slate or something like that. If it was cories, I might have a couple of interesting rocks in there and some sand to keep them happy. If it was something else, I might have some caves. But the beauty of aquariums is that you can have a beautiful aquarium that is also a breeding aquarium. So maybe go down that road. I see we've had a few submissions since I've been talking. So let's jump into Jabs. Oh, I like the angle. That's better than anything else. I like a little bit of a description, so as you can tell me what you think, and I can tell you what I think. But straight off the bat, I like it. So I'm seeing a load of Jerry shrimp. Who's Jerry shrimp? I'm seeing a load of cherry shrimp, and I do like a carpet. So you're winning on those grounds already. But I quite like this rock work. Is that an ornament, or is that something you've made yourself with these kind of slaty type rocks that are built up? So we've got some rocks with some moss that looks like weeping moss coming out of the cracks in the rock, with some buse in there, and some buse up here. I really like this kind of structure here. Or is that meant to be like a pathway of these up here, maybe? So we've got the big Amazon swordy type thing in the back there. And then is this like a path of, I can't remember what these are called. The Staurogen, ripping thingamajiggeries. But Buse is quickly becoming one of my favourite plants. I might have to do a few aquascapes with loads and loads and loads of Bucephalandra in it. And some good old Limnophilia sessiflora, my favourite. Well, I think that is it anyway. That's a lovely tank. A nice, good, solid carpet. It'd probably appreciate a trim. I've always found that when I've had this type of carpeting plant, if it's allowed to grow too far up, it stops trying to go out. So maybe give it a bit of a trim and see how you get on there. It's just loose slate with Monty and Buse. Yeah, I think you've done a cracking job there. I'll need to come up with some kind of rating system for this, won't I? What else is everyone saying here? I believe electric blue Acara might be originally hybrids, or their origin is largely debated. Yeah, I don't really know that much about them, if I'm completely honest. I just know that I like them. Every time I see them in someone else's video, I think, oh, that's a cool fish. It's kind of... It's a good size. It's a good centerpiece size for not a massive tank, if that makes sense. Algae's good. It's natural. Of course it is. What would y'all put in... What would y'all... Sorry, Salty. Every time I see y'all, I have to say it like a Texan. Put in a 10 gallon with 7.6 pH. I don't know. So 7.6 pH is quite good. That's going to give you... That's not going to limit you too much, I don't think. 10 gallons, I always struggle with you bleeding Americans and your sizing things. Oh, I didn't want to do that. No, didn't want to do that either. I wanted to do this. What's 10 gallons? 10 gallons in proper money, 45 litres, right, okay. Because for my American friends who might be watching, we measure tanks over here by their size rather than their capacity. Because you have things like 10 gallon tall and 10 gallon long, or 29 long and all that kind of stuff. And it always kind of like, oh, yeah, but how big is it? Because I want to know how it fits in this space or not. I've lost my train of thought there. Where was I going with that? So what could we have in a tank? Well, maybe you could have some electric blue Acara. No, they're probably a bit too big for something like that. I'd be looking at something along the dwarf cichlid line, maybe some crebensis or some come on, pistos. Would they be happy in that pH? That would be my first thoughts, but I'd need to do a bit more research. I do not have an encyclopedic brain. Some things I know, some things I look up. Discus are in the upgraded tank, says Paul. Of course they are. I have seen that tank, and that is as lovely a tank as well. I like the algae, says Middle Street Aquatics. I'd like something shrimp safe, says Salty. Active, so I'll always see it, and pretty, but no particular fish I like so far. So Rebecca's trying to help you out there. The harder water killifish, but they will snack on shrimp. Yeah, they will, but if you give if you get a colony going before you introduce the killifish, they'll kind of keep the colony in check rather than decimate it. Well, in my experience of the ones that I've kept. 10 gallon is 40 litres. American gallons are smaller than usual. 10 US gallons is different to UK. I know. I thought I looked at that, didn't I? Oh, that was imperial gallons. You're quite right. There you go. I did know that. I just pressed the wrong button. That's all. Make sure to convert from you. All right. Jeez. You try operating more than one button at once. I was thinking maybe a pistogramma trifasciata. Sorry, I've just been attacked by my GoPro. Oh no, my GoPro is broken. Okay, no more GoPro footage tonight. Pistogram and the past were more hardy to higher pH. Now they just seem to keel over. Oh, that's not good. It has been a while since I've kept any epistogrammas. I mean, I wouldn't say 7.6 was particularly high. That's kind of in that green zone. $10-gallon shrimp safe. Wait a minute, and Graham will get to a couple of my 10 or 9-gallon tanks. Yes, let's crack on then. Mickey's nice, new, fresh. Uh-oh, have we lost the interwebs? No, we're still here. I'm going to have to get myself one of these Flavo Flexies. I had my eye on one of the Mega Flexies. Well, I don't know if it's the Mega Flex. So you know the one that's like two of them stuck together? Is that the Mega Flex? I had my eye on one of them, and someone was asking something like 80 quid for it. I was like, oh yeah, I'll have that. They were like, yeah, just send me the money, 180 quid. I was like, oh right, not quite as good a deal. So is this, what have we said about this? New and fresh, cherries and endlers. Can't go wrong with that, can you? Nice. So this is what I like about the smaller scapes, when you're not afraid to put in a big bit of wood. That's not a double entendre or anything like that. I like a good chunky piece of hardscape in a small tank, because it's like, boom, yeah, I'm here. I'm a feature. I'm not just something lying around. Well planted. Mickey, all your tanks look good. I don't know why I'm surprised, or I'm not surprised. It's a lovely scape. Like the angle of the wood, of the planting throughout the wood and the rocks. Are these rocks, or is this just other bits of wood? Can I get a bigger picture? Oh yeah, just more bits of wood. And everything looks so healthy. I hate you. What's this? What's this? Sorry. 5 pieces of wood. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nah, I do like, because obviously it looks like one big bit of wood that's just been overtaken. Good job. I can't go wrong with that. Let's go back here. Where did we get to? There you go. There's a 10 litre tank for you. What we got in here? Platius Cory breeding tank. There's some funny looking Platius Cories. Or are they somewhere else hiding? See, this is what I like about that's a light from the tank beside it. It looks like a sticker. Is it meant to be an arrow pointing at something? Okay. So all the best breeding tanks all have some kind of sorry, I have to I've seen lots of message deleted. So Salty had put a message there saying, for some research I found some gay cockatoides that need a bigger tank than 10 gallons, like a 20-gallon long. And everyone's going, what? What's a gay cockatoides? I don't know why my phone put gay. And then it keeps, every time you put gay, it's deleting the message, which makes me laugh. I just had to explain that. But yes, breeding tanks. Too many of them are bare bottom. This is a perfect example of something where you can just shove in a boatload of plants that's also doing a job, because that's given more surfaces for quarries to lay on. They quite often will like to lay on the how do you get on with you seem to have a bit of a Malaysian trumpet snail infestation in there. How do you get on with them and the eggs from the quarries, or are you scraping the eggs up? There's that one little assassin snail down at the bottom going, oh, I've had too much to eat. Baby Flex. Home to a trio of clown plecos, pygmy cories, CPDs, and from nowhere a shrimp colony. Yeah, my fish room's a bit like that. Every tank has its own little shrimp colony in it, which is a good thing. I really like these Flex tanks. I don't know what it is about it. I've never been a fan of, you know, when you get the normal bow fronted, which they bow out that way. Does that make sense? Whereas a Flex bows that way. I've never been a fan of the ones that bow that way, but I really like the ones that bow that way. Other than you need to upgrade your camera because that looks like it's been taken by a potato. Again, a lovely little tank. I like the fact that you have all kinds of things going on in your tanks. It's not just, then here is some guppies, and that's it. So we've got snails, we've got shrimp, we've got 2 or 3 different things going on in one tank. And that's the way we should do it. The blue tub is methylene blue for the eggs. Ah, right. That'll be what that is up there. I get you. Oh, Lauren, let's have a look at yours. Newly cycled 65 litre tank, currently home to 6 neon tetras, some chili rasboras. I'll be trying to get some more chili rasboras. Planning to add to the skills and take out the smaller filter soon. It was being used to help cycle along. Sorry, I read that and then immediately forgot everything I just read. Newly cycled 65 litre, 6 neon tetras, some chili rasboras. Planning to add to the skills and take out the smaller filter. Fine. So this one here, so we've got the bigger one here, this one here is helping you cycle along. I love how aquarists are the only ones that get to look like druggies and have syringes lying around and everyone's fine with that. One of the TikToks I reviewed in my recent TikTok video was about, it was a reefer who was doing all kinds of water tests and stuff like that. It just makes me laugh that it's like, yeah, you become a chemist, you become like a mad druggie when you're going on. It's one of the only hobbies where it's perfectly acceptable to have syringes lying around. So what have we got here? We've got a nice centerpiece bit of wood, or it might be more than one piece of wood. Is that got a little bit of the old biofilm growing on it? That'll be good. So I see this all the time, every other day on Facebook and things like that. People going, oh my god, what's this growing on my wood? So whenever you buy a new piece of wood, or wood that's been sat outside of a tank for a long time, it will often do this after it's stuck into the water. So maybe a week into it, you'll see all this stuff going on here. But the fish normally love it and will go mad for it. It's perfectly normal. It's not dangerous. It's fine. So again, what have we got here? We've got some Amazon's swordy type things up here. Some good old Limnophilia sissiflora. We've got some crypts. We've got some, I forget the name of this, and some moss. I suspect you've been on a trip to Pets at Home and taken advantage of their buy 3 for £11 type offers of the Tropica plants. But I can't complain because I've done exactly the same thing over there with my tank. Really nice. Obviously it is a new setup, so everything's going to take a while to settle in and spread out a little bit. But I think you've done a good selection there with the wood placement and choice. So it's stretching along the tank. It's given something a bit of interest to draw the eye to. It's allowing you to plant things behind it, which can hide some of your equipment. So hopefully these will grow in and hide your filter a little bit, and your heater's already getting hidden by some of that stuff. Hopefully these will spread out a bit. That's what I'm hoping they'll do in my tank. Because it does look a bit like, oh, we've just been planted. We are very uniform, but that should, in time, look really good. I'm impressed with that. So you need to keep us posted and make sure you put some updates in afterwards. I think we've made it to the bottom. We've made it to the bottom. Yay! So thank you everyone for submitting your tanks and letting me have a look. What I'm really doing is I'm farming all these as ideas to use myself later. Not really. I'm hoping that this will become some kind of... Oh, the light's gone off. Why is my light gone off? My light's gone off because me not plugged in my light. There we go. I'm hoping this will become some kind of resource for people when they're either making a new tank or getting their first tank. They can just go back and have a look at... I'll probably need to change the name of this channel from Roast My Tank to Rate My Tank or something like that. I'll come up with some kind of arbitrary scale where we can make a bit of a competition out of it. But people can just go and go, I've got this, I've got a Fluval Fix, I don't know what to do with it. And then you can go and have a look at Mickey's tank or Sharpie's tank and go, I'll take some inspiration from that. Pardon me. Discord is on my tablet. It's 9 years old, 3.1 megapixel camera. Top of the range when I got it. You know, you can get Discord on your phone as well. There is an app for that. There's an app for that. Right, where did we get to? Sorry. Jab says I'm guilty of that offer. Yeah, it's a great offer sometimes. Especially the Tropica plants are like... I think they're the IKEA... No, they're the aquatic... They're the aquatic equivalent of IKEA plants. So you can't buy plants at IKEA that don't die. That don't live for at least a year before they die. It's the same in the Tropica plants. They'll do you a good turn. You can't see it now because the GoPro's died, but I'm very happy with the way my little tank's growing in, and that's all the Tropica plants from Pets at Home. Got to give it to Tropica. They know what they're doing. Not always the cheapest, but they know what they're doing. Freshwater ichthyology. I have syringes with my hypodermic needles for preserving fishies. It looks really dodgy. Yeah, I love that about this hobby, that you can just be there with your test tubes and your syringes and go, what are you doing? Making sure my fish don't die, that's all. Sorry. Rob's off to pick the wife up from the station, hopefully back before it's all done. Right. Well, while Rob's away, let's do another giveaway. Not really, but we will do another giveaway. How many people have we got here? I will ask for a little bit of admin. 43 people here, but only 40 likes. And remember, we've got a YouTube channel here that we're trying to run. So if you could go and watch some of my videos when this is over, that would be much appreciated. If you could click like on some of them, if you could comment on some of them, even if it's to say, I'm commenting on a video. That really helps with the engagement. It doesn't have to be some kind of insightful, poetic piece of genius. Just anything. Just write a thing. Even just say, write a thing. But click like, click subscribe, click... If there's a thing you can click it. That's all we ask. So let's get a few more likes on the video, a few more shares, a few more views, all those good things. They really help. And then we'll do another giveaway, shall we? So for tonight only, this is worldwide. Wherever you live, you can win one of these fantastic Aquarium Adventures calendars. Who doesn't love a calendar or need a calendar in their life? Perfect. Hang it in the kitchen, write all the things that happens. It's the only way I know what's going on in my world. Well, other than my wife telling me constantly. But if it wasn't for her, I would rely on a calendar. And it's just not the same as your phone calendar, where you can just see it all the time. So, if you want one, shall we go and have a look and see if we can give you one? Right, I'm going to do the same thing again, but it will obviously be a different number this time. So, I want you to pick a number between 0 and 50. Now, so all we want is a number between 0 and 50, and you to want to win this thing, and I'll send it to you. You have to email me afterward to tell me you won and to tell me where you live. So as soon as you see a message from Nightbot saying the giveaway has started, then it has started. Could I do Annie's Dwarf Gobies, Rosy Loaches, or Hillstream Loaches? Would they work? I have a hang-on back that gives the tank a good amount of flow, but I could get a power head. Yeah, they do like a good amount of flow. I think people make a bit too much of that, so in my experience they can tolerate a good amount of flow. I don't know whether they particularly need mega flow, but they're certainly happier in decent flow. And they're cool little fish. I'm definitely going to get some of them again. We've got a winner, we've got a winner, we've got a winner. Kieran is our winner. Congratulations, Kieran. So, round of applause for Kieran. Yeah, sorry everyone, it's been won. Kieran won it. Congratulations, Kieran. We'll do one more, or maybe even two more. Do you think we can squeeze two in? I don't know. And I'm pleased to say Kieran wasn't spamming at all. I noticed a couple of spamming in there. But congratulations. Send me your address, graham@aquariumadventures.co.uk. Let me know where you live and I'll send you a thing. I'll also send you a bunch of stickers and stuff like that if you want one of those. Mods, if you want one, again, send me your address because I won't remember. And I'll send you one as well for all your hard work and promotion. So we did admin, didn't we? Oh yeah, so as well as clicking the things and watching the things, you could try buying the things. So there's also the website, aquariumadventures.co.uk. We'll sell you some fish food, we'll sell you some merch, you can buy a lovely cock shirt. Other designs are available. We've got a new post on Discord, let's have a look at that. Posted just as I left. I don't see it. Could you put it somewhere else? I apologise. Ooh, there you go, you put it in there. Well, as it's Discus, we're going to have a look, aren't we? Very nice. See, this is another thing I want to try. An African cichlid tank. I just love saying it like that. I know it's not cichlid. I just don't have enough. I've not had time to sit and properly get into African cichlids. The whole peacocks, haps, all these weird terms that I'm not really down on to. But I do like some of these. I might have to investigate. And I do like saying Mbuna, just like I like saying Maboo. What, have you got a cheese plant in there, or is that a fake? Clearly, must be a fake. Some nice discus in there. Oh, so you've got a very grumpy one. These two don't look too happy. They've obviously not tried the Aquarium Adventures superfoods. I should have like a ting go off there. Some nice fish there. Where are they from? Are they Chen's fish by any chance? Nice bright eyes on these ones. Lovely fish. Lovely fish. I know I'm not showing any of you this. Sometimes it's like I've never done this before. So they were the plants I was talking about. They're quite good for fake plants. So I was saying that these two looked a bit grumpy, but they could just be grumpy. There's not anything wrong with them. Some lovely bright eyes on t'others. Right, sorry. There was something else I was going to do, or going to talk about. Where has it gone now? Come on, Graham, you can do it. Were you talking mutt cichlids again? You should try Lake Tanganyikan cichlids. You can fit more niches into setups, I think. Yeah, I think this is the main thing. There are so many ways and so many different types of cichlids, and lots of people keep other things in there that aren't necessarily not biotopes for anything like that. And I keep thinking, right, I'm going to get into this, I'm going to watch a load of videos, I'm going to read a load of articles, and then fall asleep, or, oh, shiny, and go off and do something else instead. I probably just need to dive in and just try something and learn as I go. Do have an idea of potentially, I don't know if none of them are here, but I might be going over to see my good friends over at Fishman Aquatics and getting them to pick me out like a African cichlid starter kit, if you like. So get a bunch of compatible fish, some advice on how to set up a tank and what decorations and all that kind of stuff, and then make it just for video's sake. But I'm secretly going, oh yeah, that'd be quite useful because I don't know all that much about them. So yeah, that might be something that's coming along in the next few weeks. So we'll see. Now that the fish room's nearly ready, I'll have lots of chance for lots of tanks to do lots of things. Sharpie agrees, Tanganyikan fish are prettier and more interesting. Go for wild caughts, they tend to be healthier. Wilds tend to be seasonal, so it tends to be the luck when you go into the store. Yes, that is definitely a thing. Like I was saying earlier, my daughter came in and said, yes, however, I want a goldfish. You know, like, this is not the time of year to be buying goldfish. Pardon me. Eels. Lake Tanganyika has Cynodontis, you see in the trade. Petricola, Lucy. You're just doing this to make me say hard birds, aren't you, Rebecca? Multipunctus, etc. Yes, some of them I'm not that into, if I'm completely honest. The Cynodontis and the Petricolas, people go mental for them. I'm a bit like meh. So I don't know if it's for me sometimes. With a gigantic tank, and you could even get giraffe cat. Yeah. But again, I really need to think about this quite seriously, because I'm going to end up getting a tank I don't want... What am I trying to say? I don't want the stocking of the tank to be determined by just one thing that isn't something I'm mad about. So for instance, I am mad about discus. So while that does limit me as to what I can put in there, there are quite a lot of things that will go and live with discus. I could get rays in there, I could get arowanas in there, all kinds of things would live with the discus. But if you get something like a giraffe cat or some of the other monsters, that might end up being the only thing that can live in there, because it will just terrorise everything else or eat everything else. But giraffe cats are quite cool. I only recently learned about them because I used to watch videos about them, and I always thought they were saying draft cats. So I'd be googling, what the fuck is a draft cat? But it was just the accent of the person that was presenting the videos. So I'm going, a giraffe cat. Ah, right, okay. Rob's back. No, he didn't miss much. We just did another giveaway because you weren't here. We'll be doing another one soon. I'm going to create a bit of a poll. Obviously I can't talk and type at the same time. Get the fish you like, not what you think other people like. Exactly. But the fish I like, I don't need a ginormous tank for it. Does that make sense? I don't need a 10,000 litre tank to keep 10,000 discus. I could just keep 20 discus in quite a nice big tank. So it's all the other options of the things I haven't done before that's not confusing me, but it's giving me too many options. It's the, oh, shall I do this? Shall I do that? Shall I do the other? I need to think about it a little bit more. I kept it in Mbuna. Really nice fish. The colours are amazing, but the aggression was a pain. And yeah, I don't mind that so much. It's one of the things that draws me into the African cichlids is the constant movement. It's the constant busyness, the flashing, the colours. So I'm definitely going to do that at some point. I find Malawi cichlids tend to just kill each other, and finding non-hybrids seems a bigger challenge than it looks. Yeah, so I am aware that is not necessarily a big problem, but it's more and more the hybrid route in the African cichlids, because there are so many people out there farming them, for want of a better word. So I've put up a bit of a poll saying, shall we finish 10 minutes early and I'll release my new video? Let me know what you think. We'll let it run for a few minutes. I missed the message there, didn't I? Have you got a supply of stickers still? Can you see that? Yes, I've got a supply of stickers still. I've bought myself, I'm very proud of this. I'm going to show you this. This is the nerdiest thing ever. So, I am a one-man band. So when you order food, it doesn't go to a factory to be processed and shipped out. I get an email and I get told what you want, and I start bagging it up and sending it out. But I got this, which has revolutionised my life. You see it? It's like an index card, file card thing, majiggery. So these are all the labels for all the fish foods. So I just cut up like 50 at a time and put them in here, so it helps me. And this, you've got no idea how much this helps. Rather than having to hunt through piles and piles of labels. I knew that was going to hurt my finger. I can now just go and we're away. I know that doesn't really it's not the most inspiring of video comments, but there you go. It's made my life easier. Mbuna are vegetarian and aggressive. I find we've already said those comments, Liam. Right, we were going to do one more thing, weren't we? What was it? The topic of the week. And so back into Discord. So, live stream topics. That's where you can go in and suggest something you'd like to talk about or hear about. So today's is Paul's comment again. Not sure if you've done this before, but what about fish you've kept that would never keep again and why? Or maybe a top 5 underrated fish that people often overlook. Let's do it. So, I feel like it has some stingers in here. Topic of the week. Boo! I'm going to combine those. Might do the top 5 fish I've kept before but would never keep again, as well as the top 5 underrated fish. Oh, we've had a super chat. Merry Christmas. Oh, still 3 weeks to go. Well, you can do this for the next 3 weeks as well, Mickey. That's quite all right. We'll also have to... Point of order. Sorry, let's get my small face. We've also got a channel in here called... Where is it? Christmas Tree Pictures. Where all you maniacs out there who've already put up your Christmas trees. So some of these were done in November. Maniacs. Very pretty and all, but you're all completely mental. We will be doing, in a couple of weeks' time, I will be getting number 1 daughter to judge the best Christmas tree, or number 1 son, or maybe number 2 son. One of them. Whatever one's around and still up. We'll get them to judge the best Christmas tree. So post your Christmas tree pictures. But I'm going to wait for a few more weeks before we do a giveaway. I might do first, second and third prizes or something. I'll send you a goodie bag for the best pictures as judged by one of my main helpers. But as it's not actually time to put up your Christmas tree yet, I'll give you a few more weeks. I think I've been told we're putting ours up on the 11th or something like that. I don't have a choice. So, another reason to join Discord, stick your Christmas tree photos in there and we'll do a bit of a giveaway in a couple of weeks' time. So, what was I on about there? So, fish that I've kept that you never keep again. That's very much the case. So, for me, and let me know in the comments what you would categorise in here. I bought... So, this was a silly thing that I did. I relied on the knowledge of a less than upfront shop owner. And I'd never seen them before. I saw some Geophagus suramanensis. The first time I'd seen geos in the flesh. I don't even think they were suramanensis, but anyway, the first time I'd seen them in the flesh, I thought that is a cool looking fish. And I had just set up what was going to be my... Sorry, I'm just trying to open my beer. I'm not just making faces. I just set up what was going to be my discus tank. I thought, they'll look good in there. So I said to the guy, I've just set up this tank. It's a planted tank. It's like 4 foot long. Will they do well in this tank? Oh yeah, fantastic, yeah. And I was like, well, could I keep them with discus as well? Because I was planning on putting discus. Oh yeah, definitely. And it's full of plants. That's fine. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, they're fine. They don't dig up anything. I was like, right. And the way he said it made me suspicious. Let's just put it that way. Now I know that Geophagus actually means earth eaters. So obviously they did. So I gets them home, puts them in a tank, and the next day it was just as if a bomb had exploded underwater. And that just put me off them completely. More recently I have thought, no, you know what? That's not the fish's fault, it's my fault. So I have to... The one that I've always said I wouldn't keep again. Another one is plain old Crebensis. As much as I loved them, I couldn't get them to stop breeding, and I couldn't get rid of them fast enough. And it just... I had to find creative ways to get rid of the fry. And I didn't I didn't enjoy that. Let's say that. So they're another one that I would keep that I wouldn't want to keep again. I'm struggling to think of other ones that I wouldn't keep again. I remember I have named individual fish, like called that one Bastard or something like that, because it has been a bastard. But it's like, I think Mickey said tiger barbs. Tiger barbs, yeah, they can be really nippy, but I knew that up front, so maybe that's more about me than the fish. Convicts, I guess that would fall under the same sort of category as the crebensis, where you just can't stop them breeding. So they're the ones that I would. I'm trying to think offhand if there's any other ones that I've kept before where I've really regretted it. And it's usually about a mistake I've made rather than something that the fish have done wrong. Sharpie's saying, I did have to laugh at the people buying the trees last weekend, neatly sawn off at the base, so by Christmas they'll have a pointy stick in the corner. Well, don't they do clever things these days, like wax the bottom so as they last a bit longer and all that kind of stuff? I don't know. Kaylee says, very busy at work last weekend, people buying Christmas trees and decorations. Well, we've got decorations up. My wife has been putting traps up in the kitchen, hanging from the ceiling, all at head height for me. Dear, something's going on in the room behind me. Rebecca laughing at me. Yeah, geophagus meaning earth eating is the clue. Well, I didn't know geophagus meant earth eating at the time. Lovely fish, but out compete everything for food. Yeah, exactly. So that was the other bad thing about them is, can I keep them with discus? Yeah, you can if you want your discus to starve. Because they just go mad for everything. So, like, their two favourite pastimes are destroying aquascapes and eating everything that came anywhere near them. Gary used to have convict. I almost said it accidentally there. Used to have convict cichlids. Never again. They breed real fast and get really. Exactly. Yeah, you just can't stop them. Dual cichlids, psycho murder fish that attack anything. I've kept a dual cichlid before. That wasn't too much of a psycho. I thought they were alright. Well, until breeding time, I guess. 13-year-old me bought a shiny Pictus catfish back to the shop after my neon started to disappear. Marine fish, corals, etc., they don't interest me. Yeah, some people are like that. They do interest me, but I've made the decision that I'm not going to go down the dark side anytime soon. But I have kept marine fish in the past, and corals were the thing that interested me more than anything else. I still couldn't get my head around going, that's not a plant. That's wow, I don't get it. Jeweled cichlids, lovely looking, but harangued all my other fish into one corner. I have 250 white convicts, very happy. Maybe that's what I could turn Megatank into. Some kind of rescue centre for people who just get a bit carried away with, I don't know, maybe everyone that has Mabu puffers in a 4-foot tank, when they get too big, send them my way. Right, I promised a further giveaway. Oh, so I answered half the question there, didn't I? Sorry, what was the rest of the question? Top 5 underrated fish that people often overlook. So I would definitely stick in that category. Plain old guppies, endlers, that kind of thing. General live bearers that once you've been in the hobby a while, you get a bit snobby about, going, ugh. Swordtails, guppies. I still think they're fantastic. One of my favourite tanks, and always will be, is my guppy tank. I just love the action going on there. I love the ease of which you can learn about fish, genetics, breeding, line breeding, colony breeding, all the different ways you can affect the outcome of breeding projects. can all be seen with guppies, and that type of thing. And then finally understanding things that are very obvious in the guppies and the live bearers, like how to selectively breed for swords and sword tails and all that kind of stuff. I think it's fantastic. So that's probably my number one underrated fish that people often overlook. Underlook? That's not even a word. What else would I put in there? I think the humble bristlenose pleco often gets a bad rap for the job that it does. So a diligent worker, diligent cleaner. What else could we put in there? I'm struggling to think of underrated fish because I overrate most of them, if that's even a thing. Obviously discus, because not everyone thinks they're fantastic. Some idiots don't like them at all. What else could we put in there? Fishies people get snobby about. Marines when freshwater is mentioned. Goldfish and live bearers get looked down upon. Tank buster snobbery I noticed in the trade. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's courses for courses, isn't it? It's one man's trash is another man's treasure and all that kind of stuff. Right, let's do the final giveaway. Where do I want to be? Oh, I've been in big face this whole time, sorry. Sorry you have to look at this. One more time. You have to think of a number between 1 and 50. Mollies, there's a good one. So versatile as well, and do a great job at cleaning up things. Silver flying fox, brilliant blackbeard algae destroyer, and also really pretty fish. Dojo lodges are underrated. I don't think they are. Everyone that I've ever spoken to thinks they're fantastic. But yeah, I guess. Yeah, like I say. Horses for courses. Right, last giveaway to your opportunity to win the fantastic 2022 Aquarium Adventures calendar. And then we'll go into a live premiere of me building a wall. Bought some Platius this week. They're considered a bit beginner. Yeah, I think that's the snobbery of it. Is the reason that these are so popular is because they're popular for a reason. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Right, anyway, pick a number 0 to 50. Live in the world. I'll send you the thing. Everyone can win one. Go. You'll see a message come up from Nightbot or something like that saying a competition has begun. Please pick a number between 0 and 50. When it's 1, you'll see another one saying such and such has won the competition. The giveaway, that's what it's saying. The giveaway has started. To win, enter a number between 0 and 50. So you don't have to go on forever after this worked. I asked a while back about plants that work with crayfish. Everyone said nothing worked, but I'm stubborn, and the chat has run away. But I'm stubborn and tried some. Turns out hornwort works. You can't keep it planted, but they don't eat it. There you go. I think that's a good mindset to have with these things. Is stubborn's probably the right way to look at it. Trying things, as long as it's not dangerous. If the worst that's going to happen is something's going to dig up your plants or eat your plants, at least it's getting a meal. But I think there's a lot of things in the hobby these days which are just, it's perceived wisdom from the olden days, which just isn't valid anymore. I mean, obviously, when people say to you, maybe not keep goldfish and piranha in the same tank. Yeah, there's probably a reason to say that. But if you don't understand something, ask more questions. Try it. I've always been a big fan of giving it a go. I mean, you can give people advice on, oh, we've got a winner. No, we haven't. Have we? Yes, we have. Jennifer, Chief Moderator. It's not a fix. Chief Moderator Jennifer has won. Congratulations, Jennifer. You can stop guessing now. There is no number, says Mickey. Well, there is, clearly. Jennifer just won it. I was going to give you one anyway. This is a bit of a fix, isn't it? Right, stop. Everyone stop. Well done, Jennifer. Congrats to me, as she says. Well done, Jennifer. Shall we do another one? I was going to give Jennifer one anyway for her great moderating. Is that a way to look at it? Let's not press that button. Let's press mods, keyword. Look at that. Overwhelming support for releasing the 32 votes, 94% say yes, release the video early. Fine, we shall do that. One more giveaway. I want it. Type that in the chat. If you want a calendar, type I want it in the chat. Go. So while you're all doing that, I'll thank you all for joining me. Remind you of all the admin tasks that you've been assigned. You have to go and click like on some videos. You go and watch some videos. In fact, stay in the end and watch this video. Comment something on the video. So let's think of a word. I want it all one word, Jab. Come on. So if you don't mind hanging around another 5 minutes to watch this video, we'll do it as like a premiere and I'll be there as well. If you could like just comment on this going, you're terrible at building, or that's not how you hang a plasterboard. All those good things. That really helps apparently. If you get lots of comments when the video just comes out, that's why the premiere function exists. So what I'll do is I'll set this. Let me go back on Big Face. I'll set the video to start at 10:50 as a premiere. I'm saying this very confidently as if I know how to do these things. I think I know how to do these things. And no, cancel. Oh, come on, just I want to go into it. There we go. Visibility. Third of December. No, I'll have to do it as an instant. I'll do it as an instant premiere in a few minutes. Right. So have we got everyone had a chance? I want it and I want it now. I want it all. No, not singing again. I'll get copyright struck. Right. What's Jenny was saying? I want it. God, you got such a dirty mind. Are we ready? Drum roll, please. The winner is Rocky's Rocky. You have won. Congratulations! You get a calendar. You get a calendar. You get a calendar. You get a calendar. Everyone gets a calendar. Right, congratulations, Rocky. I know your address, but please just email me anyway, otherwise I'll forget to send it to you. And I've got to be honest, even emailing me doesn't guarantee that I'll remember, so don't feel rude by chasing up if I don't get round to these things. I have a memory like a sieve, as we discussed earlier, but I will get that out to you as best I can. I'll give the mods one as well. Everyone say thank you to the mods for all their hard work. I'm going to sign off shortly. I'm going to do an instant premiere, so as soon as I sign off on this one, we will start an instant premiere of my latest video. I mean, it's me putting up some balls, don't get too excited. But I would appreciate it greatly if you would all hang around for a few minutes, watch that video, put a like or a comment or whatever, because it all helps. But anyway, we shall sign ourselves off here. Thank you all for watching. Yeah, thank you mods. It's always good to have some good mods. I've not seen some of our mods for a while. We'll need to do a health check and make sure they're all okay. But anyway, we'll sign off for now, and in the next minute or so we'll come back with an instant premiere. But we'll see you there. And I'll be on the instant premiere as well. We'll be typing away and saying hello and remember to comment and all that kind of good stuff. But anyway, goodbye. Thank you for joining me. Bye.